Hey, welcome to this video. Today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different for me. I'm going to be baking. With St. Patrick's Day coming up, I'm going to be making Irish soda bread. And so I'm going to show you how I do that. Why don't we get started with the ingredients? Of course, you're going to need baking soda, flour, butter. I have Irish butter here, Kerrygold butter, one egg. You'll need some salt. And this recipe calls for buttermilk. So you're gonna need a pint of that. If you don't have it on hand, there's a trick you can what you can do is you can use whole milk and squeeze some lemon juice, or if you have vinegar, you can use that. So that's pretty much it. Those are the main ingredients for traditional Irish soda bread. What I'm gonna do is a variation of it that's a little bit different. Over here I have some craisins. You could also use raisins or currants if you have those. And I really like this caraway seed. You can add that. And if you want it a little bit sweeter, you could add sugar. But for me, that's where the craisins come in. It's going to add a little bit of sweetness and it's going to give it some texture. And this is a little bit unusual for me. I hardly ever measure anything, but given I'm baking, I'm going to measure. So I have some measuring cups, a whisk, the mixing bowl I'm going to mix it up in. And I'm going to do it in this cast iron enameled Dutch oven. If you don't have one of those, cast iron skillet works fine. And if you don't have a skillet, you could just do it on a baking sheet with, say, parchment paper. All right, cool. Why don't we get started? The first thing you want to do is preheat your oven to 425 degrees. Okay, so I'm starting to mix it together. I already have 3 cups of flour right here in the mixing bowl. It's going to call for 4 cups total. So 4 cups of flour. And it's going to call for 1 teaspoon of baking soda. Just going to give it a quick mix around. Okay, cool. Now, what I have over here is I have that pint of the buttermilk, and I have the egg I just whisked up inside of this measuring cup. So that's ready to go. And also, what I did, it might be kind of tricky to show this as on camera as I do it and film it at the same time, so I might have to do it off camera. But I sliced up the butter. I'm going to use about 3/4 of a stick of the Kerrygold butter, and I'm just going to put these slices directly into the mix. And it's kind of cool because what happens as you cook it, it's going to melt right into the bread. Alternatively, you could also, and I've seen other people do it this way, you could just melt the butter and then mix it in. But most important part now is the buttermilk, because that's going to work with the baking soda, because you're not using any yeast in this, so you need the combo of the baking soda with the acidity in the buttermilk to help it rise. So I'm just gonna mix it around. Do that for a few minutes. Like I said, I'm gonna put the butter in, and I'll check back in a few when I have it on the board here when I form it to get it ready to go in the oven. And once it's mixed up really good, what you want to do at that point is you're gonna add in the I'm using craisins. You could use raisins alternatively, and the caraway. And the other thing you don't want to forget, and you don't do a lot of it, I just do a sprinkle. I don't even measure it. I just do a sprinkle of the salt. So you just need a little bit of that. All right, I'll check back with you in a few. All right, let's see where we're at. I just put the butter in. I was telling you I sliced it up, so I just did that off camera. Turns out the Irish like to make spices. McCormick here. Actually, that's my ancestors. That's there's 3 of them. There's 2 on one side and 1 on the other. Going back to Ireland, so it's pretty cool that the McCormicks ended up making spices somewhere along the way. I never really thought of Irish cuisine as, being very spicy, but all joking aside, I got the caraway seeds there. I got the craisins. I'm just gonna dump those in now. I'll try to put all the exact measurements in the description. I got a board here. I just put some flour on, because what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna mix this up a little bit more off camera, and then I'm gonna form it right here on the board with my hands. And what I did was about 1/4 of a stick of butter, whatever was left over, I just put it right there in the Dutch oven. I'm going to grease the bottom, and I have some flour in there, as you can see, so I'll get that ready. The oven's preheating to 425, and yeah, so I'll get this going. I'll check back in a few and show you where I'm at. All right, cool. So off camera, I just formed the bread on the cutting board. I sprinkled a little bit of flour, and I made a quick cross down the middle there. And I also greased up the Dutch oven, put some flour in there, so that's going to help when it cooks on the bottom. And so, yeah, I'm going to take this, put it in the Dutch oven, and I'll show you in a minute when I'm actually putting in the oven. We're going to go at 425 for about a half hour. All right, there's the soda bread in the Dutch oven. We're going to leave the lid off, and we're gonna put it in. We'll check on it in about a half hour and see if it's done. All right, the soda bread is done. I actually had to cook it a few more minutes. I checked it at a half hour and it looked like it wasn't quite golden yet, so added another 5 minutes. I'm gonna take it out now and set it on a rack and let it set for about 15-20 minutes, and then I'll cut and serve. All right, I just sliced the bread, and I already have a fan of it over here. He's still chewing on it. He likes it a lot. In a couple weeks, he's going to be celebrating his first St. Patrick's Day. Yeah, again, this is a variation of Irish soda bread, and I mixed it up a little bit with the craisins. You don't have to do that, and I recommend if you don't add anything sweet like that or you don't add sugar, this goes really good with savory stuff. So if you make like a Irish stew, this goes really good with stew. So I want to thank you guys for watching my video. Wish you guys all a happy St. Patrick's Day, and please like and subscribe.